Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I feel like it has been such a long time since I actually sat here and talked to y'all. We got a lot of catching up to do as far as this money stuff is concerned, the budgets are concerned. And so right now I'm about to make a series of videos all in the same thing because we not changing. We ain't got time for that to make it look like this is a whole different day. No, it's not. It's all the same day, okay? But so in this video, we are going to go over our last final paycheck in 2021. So this is my final December paycheck. The reason why I am making this video is because I feel that in the world of budgeting, now I know that there's a lot of videos where we see cash stuffing cash stuffings and envelopes and things like that. And then sometimes we even see budget videos, but a lot of times we don't see people who actually reconcile their budget at the end of the month to go over and review what their money did. Some people say because they feel like after they make the budget, it's not that important to go back and kind of review. It's kind of like, well, hey, what's done is done. We don't need to talk about what's already done. But I feel like that is the most important part to talk about because we can all make a plan. We can all make a plan and the plan can sound super great in our head and in theory. But y'all, I am not a fan of theory. I am a fan of practice. Show me what actually happened in real life. Because theories are beautiful. Theories are beautiful. But we all know that when life pops up and does its things, very seldomly holds up. Yeah, holds up. And so in this video, I am going over this because I had to reconcile what was on paper to what was actually in my bank account. And guess what I discovered? I discovered that the numbers were way off. Let's talk about it. In this paycheck, what we see in my bank account is not actually what I made on my paycheck. This is just the balance that was in my bank account on the day that I got paid. Okay? And so what I do is I look at this and we have $22,438.97 in my bank account. And then I review my statement to make sure that things are looking legit. Like, let's see, I see that I paid some credit card bills here. I sent a Cash App here, and that's about it, right? But what I need to do is reconcile everything to see, of that $22,438, what do I need to pay? What needs to be moved to a different account? What is actually going on with this money? Now, what I do, because I live, a lot of you know, I live a credit card lifestyle. So the first rule of thumb, some people say the first rule is pay yourself, but that never quite makes sense to me because almost like how can you pay yourself if you're not paying what you owe? You got to pay what you owe first, in my opinion. Okay, now I guess pay yourself could also mean things like your 401k because those things do come out of my paycheck automatically, right? But like I said, you're not going to see me say, I have to pay myself, so let me move money to my savings. No. Or I have to pay myself, so let me make sure I got money to enjoy myself. No. Responsibilities are first and foremost. So the first responsibility is to settle my debt with my credit cards. This also keeps me on top of what I've been buying, what I owe, and what I actually have. So we are going to pull up the easiest credit card first. My easiest credit card is my American Express because I seldomly use it. Now, in this case though, I did use it for a conference, an IT conference that I was going to because it had some perks that I wanted to take advantage of, okay? So when we take a look at this credit card, we see that I owe a total balance of $1,509. Now, I know that the majority of what is owed there is from the conference. Hold on, because I think I wrote some things down. All right, so yeah. So I found my cheat sheets. with the American Express. So the $1,509, some of that is made up of this. $25 went for hair. I had to put a down deposit on my hair. These days it seems like a lot of places when you book a service, they make you actually put money down just to schedule yourselves in. And of course, when you go get the service done, that money is then applied to the service. Okay, $338 was for a flight. $725 was for a hotel in Vegas. $408 was for another hotel in Vegas. Now, when I looked at everything, it looked like I was under $12.78, but that was close enough, okay? So we're going to go ahead and pay that full balance of $1,509. And so when I do that, I then have $20,929 left in my bank account. The other things of note here that I like to look at is my points. Now, I did just use points to buy a plane ticket to Vegas for my mother, and so this leaves me with 9,576 points. That's equivalent of $95. The next credit card we're going to take a look at is our Citibank credit card. All right, so with Citi, we owe a balance of $1,920. And we also see that we have 99,857 points. That's equivalent of $900 in points. Now, when I look through this statement, I just basically go through and make sure that what I see here are things that I actually purchase. Now, this credit card is the credit card that I do most of my spending, my fast food and eating out spending on. Okay, outside of all of the food, I see that I have $29.99, which is my Google storage fee, and that's what I pay for the year to give me more storage because y'all, you know, we be doing all the things. And then we also see we have our $224 cell phone fee that came through. Also on this that we don't see quite right here is $344 for a flight. Now, of this credit card, what we are going to do is pay $664. Now, the $664, what is that? That is going to be the cell phone, the flight, the storage, and $65 worth of food. The reason why we're not paying the whole balance off is because there are some things that come from different baskets and different pots of money, and so that's why that's staying there. I have it all written out, like what's what goes where, and what gets paid when, and by who, and things like that. And so that's what's happening there. But with the $664, once we subtract that from the bank statement, we have $20,265 remaining. Our final credit card that we're going to take a look at is our Bank of America card. The balance here is $5,303.14. We also see that we have over 120,000 points, and so that is about $1,200. If we take a look at some of the transactions, we will see that mostly anything that doesn't fall in a neat category, such as like gifts and shopping and paying my utilities, I do it on this card because this card gives me 1.5 times the points versus 1 point. Most other cards will give you dollar for dollar in categories that are miscellaneous, but this gives us the minimum is 1.5. So I do most of my minimum spending on this card here. And if we look down, we see that we have like lots of Christmas shopping done on this card. And outside of Christmas shopping, let's see. No, a lot of it is my utilities and Christmas shopping actually. And so on this card, we're going to make a payment of $5,168. And the same reasoning applies here as the last card. The reason why we're not paying the full balance is because we have pots and things like that things come out of. And so once we make that payment of $5,168, we have $15,097 remaining. Now, Once I make all of these credit card payments, what I then do is go over to the Every Dollar app, which is what I do my budgeting in, and I make sure that I zero out everything that we just reconciled. I do not zero those things out when I pay a bill on my credit card. It's not zeroed out. It's zeroed out once I pay off that credit card balance, okay? So once we have everything zeroed out, the next thing that I'm going to look at, being that this is the final paycheck of the month and the final paycheck of the year, I'm going to look at everything that needs to be moved around. Right now, we have $4,764 that needs to be moved to various savings accounts. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually move those things around. And once I do, this leaves us with $10,333 remaining. I'm then going to look at what do I have outstanding that needs to go to something in the next month. Like, for instance, what I have outstanding here is $3,000 extra to pay on my mortgage, but that money is going to be paid in the January mortgage. So I'm going to make sure that I deduct that to know that we don't actually have that money free and clear in the bank account, that that money is actually spoken for. So once we subtract that $3,000, I have $7,333. I have about another $500 in gifts. And once I subtract that, $6,833 is remaining. And then I have about $147 in pending spending. This is money that I've already spent, but it's still pending on my credit card transactions. I do not pay things that are still pending. I wait for the transaction to be finalized, and then I go in and make the payment. But that's $147. So we subtract that, we have $6,686 remaining. And then I have an additional $1,361 in things that haven't been paid yet, such as, let's say, like my cable bill, like just little bills and odds and ends that are sitting here in every dollar that shows that I have to make these payments, but I haven't actually made the payment yet. So I'm going to subtract that. And when I subtract that, this leaves me $5,325 in my bank account. Guys, that's the part right there. Because if you reconcile your budget every single paycheck, and if not every single paycheck, at least every single month, if you're like me, I don't hold money in my checking account. I don't hold a cushion. Okay, so if you're like me and you don't hold a cushion, that number should have been equal closer to zero, maybe $100, give or take. But it should not be thousands of dollars sitting in my bank account. Y'all, I went over the numbers, and I don't know why I have this much money still left over. I don't. $5,325. And honestly, I feel like I seen this number earlier, like maybe a few months ago. I seen a bigger cushion in my bank account, and I said, well, let me leave it there just in case I'm forgetting something and it will all shake out, because that is one of, like a concern. Not necessarily a concern, but a worry. The worry is that you think you have this big pile of money in a bank account, then you go and you do other things with that money just to realize, like, snap, that money was supposed to be for X, Y, or Z. And Z. In this case, X, Y, and Z. But I cannot figure out why that money is there. What I'm thinking could have happened is that perhaps I was supposed to have moved money to my savings in some month earlier in the year, July, August, September, who knows. And maybe I didn't actually transfer the money the way I thought I would. Because I feel like with my bank account, you can't transfer more than $5,000 at a time to another bank account. So I'm thinking maybe something like that happened and I didn't finish transferring money, and that's why that money is sitting there. But this also tells me this is the importance why you have to stay on top of your budget every single month. While this is good because it's a surplus and not a, what's that word opposite of surplus? Y'all, my brain is foggy. Hold on, my throat is My throat won't clear. Okay. The word that's opposite of surplus. At least it's not a deficit, right? At least it's not a deficit. But this money could actually be working harder for me in a different area than sitting in my basic checking account. My basic checking account has the lowest interest, right? At this point, I don't think I would have moved it to my savings either, because we just don't need that much money extra in savings. But it could have went to paying down the house. You know what it could have did? What it could do? What it should do? It should start me a Roth IRA. I believe you can do $6,000 a year in a Roth. That money could actually fund a Roth. But that's what it is, y'all. Thank y'all for sitting with me during this paycheck budget. We're going to do more of these because I need y'all's accountability. Because y'all see what happens when your girl don't have any accountability? Things just go all over the place, all right? But that is this budget. In the next video, we are actually going to talk about our December budget as a whole. What happened? What happened? Did I meet my budgeting expectations? How did the year end? Okay? Thank y'all so much for being here. Don't forget to thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a member of the Fun and Budget Fab family, and talk to me in the comments below and let me know. Let me know. In this beautiful new year, are you gonna work to stay on top of your finances a little better than you did the year before? I am. Until the next video, y'all. Peace.